everyone, it's Christina coming to you with another Canva tutorial. So I just wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to do a postcard obituary, and this will be for a newborn baby. That's why I chose just the postcard, because you tend to not to have all of the other elements that a full obituary will require for a, a newborn or small child. So I'm going to do a postcard with a graphic versus a picture. So to start off, I'm going to size it. I just did a regular postcard size, which is going to give you a 5 by 5, not a 5 by 5, 5.5 by 4.25 in inches is going to be your postcard size. So I am going to use a couple of different elements in order to create this with the graphic. So we're going to start with our graphic. That's how we're going to start. So I'm going to go to upload. I did upload this from Kendra in our Canva Life of Obituaries group on Facebook. She had some beautiful, beautiful graphics. And I know some people were asking, well, what would I do with this graphic? How would I incorporate that into an obituary? So this is just showing you one way you can do it. There are many other ways. So due to the size of the postcard and the picture, the graphic, you see that even when I make it to the biggest space on the whole on the canvas, there's still the sides. So there's one or two ways you could go about this. You could simply just make the background purple and leave it at that. But I like the picture overall, so I want to actually use the whole thing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit. And it's taking a second, I'm sorry. And from edit, I'm going to scroll over to the magic extend, so that it's going to extend the photo through the whole canvas, so that I don't have to simply, like I said, make the sides background purple. So I'm going to select whole page, hit magic expand, and what it's going to do is going to give me a couple of different options on how it expanded. And you're just going to look at the different options they give you, because sometimes it'll add stuff that does not make sense with the picture that you have going. So you see it's coming up with the fourth one. And you can just tell the small details, like the way that the clouds are, or more diamonds and other things being added to it. So I'm simply just going to click this one, hit done, and now my photo is full size. So now it's full size. So that's going to give us what we started with on our first page. So next, after we've did the magic expand, I am going to go to elements, and I'm simply going to just type in purple sparkle and see what that gives me, to just add some extra details to it. And I like the little bling, so I'm simply going to hit it, and then I'm going to duplicate it a few times, move it throughout the picture so it seems like it's more cohesive and it actually goes with the actual image that it came with. Okay, so next I'm also going to hit these little bursts, and I'm going to do one burst here, maybe make it a little bit smaller, center it. I'm going to create another burst by just simply hitting duplicate. I'm going to rotate it and move it down into the corner. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to duplicate that one because it's the correct size. I'm going to simply rotate it and put it into the other corner. I think I'm going to take the transparency down just a little bit because I don't want it to take away from my main graphic. I simply just wanted to add some more, as I say, razzle dazzle. Okay, so now we have our background fully set up. So now all we really have left is simply just to add the name. It was very quick, simple, and easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my apps in Canva. And I'm going to look for the 3D, the Text Maker 3D effect. And just for time purposes, I'm not going to change the colors or anything like that. I'm simply going to just go with one that they have. As you see, they have quite a few different 3D elements that you can go with. So you can do one of the other ones, and remember, you can always change the color of the font. You can also change the font once you pick a style. So we're going to pick the golden, and there's going to be a text box. We're simply just going to type in Baby Miracle. If the baby has a name, you can do that as well, but we're just gonna go with Baby Miracle for now. Let me spell check that. And this is what I was talking about where it says Great Vibes. You can actually change the font but still have the same characteristics, and it will still be the same style as the golden. All right, so we won't mess with anything else, but if we wanted to change the colors, we would simply go to customization and change the different colors, and you can change the golden to whatever color that fits with your project. And so we're simply going to add it to the design. And it takes a second to populate onto your screen. But like I said, it is very quick and easy to do. It doesn't take long, especially if you're not changing the color. But like I said, you can always change the color if you want to change it to match your design. So I could have changed it to purple, but I just decided that I think I'll leave it as gold just to go with the gold elements that are already in this photo. And sometimes it does take a while for it to add on to the photo. And I just was double checking because sometimes it'll send it to another screen, and then watch, once it does decide to populate, it's gonna probably populate like 50 because I've hit it about 50 times, but I just want to make sure it's not hidden anywhere. So I'm gonna double check my layers to make sure it didn't drop down anywhere. Then I'm gonna go back to my text maker and see if I cannot try this one more time to add to the design. And it is not being cooperative. But once you hit normally add to design, it will just simply drop onto your screen. So I'm just going to copy and paste the one from the top from right now to save time. So we literally are just going to resize it to fit in between the banner. And so then we're going to go back and we're going to do the exact same thing for the date. We're just going to type in a random date. And sometimes I do like to do dates that are far out, because if you are selling this as, say, a template, then if you put today's date, and not that it makes a difference, but just sometimes it kind of ages it. So if you put is 2024, 2026, when somebody's looking at that template, they're going to know, oh, well, this template has been here for at least, a few years. So if you put a far out date, or instead of putting a date, you can put XX, showing that, of course, it can be, the date can be whatever date is current. You can do that as well, as just not to date your templates. Because if you're making templates, you want this to be able to be used over and over again, year after year after year, so that you can still make money off of one project that you've already did. So you would have one template you can put on your website or put on your Etsy shop or your hip shop, and that template can just keep making you money without it seeming like it's an old template. So, okay, so we're going to now add the date. And we're going to make it a little bit bigger so you can read it. And you can put it at the bottom if you wanted to. You could move it up at the top some more and maybe make your background a little more transparent so that, it can stand out more. But we're just going to put it at the bottom, and that's it. It was really that simple to make that. Took us maybe 5 minutes? So we're going to work on the next one. And simply the easiest way a lot of times to do it is we're just going to duplicate this page. For the next one, we didn't have the razzle dazzle, so I'll simply literally just remove all of the razzle dazzle. We know we had the baby miracle. We still have our date, so that way you're not going back and forth recreating something that you've already recreated. And then we'll do that same process with the adding the text maker 3D, and we'll do the same thing with the Forever Angel. Okay, so we have all of our writing that we're going to start with. And then for this one, because we are going to need another baby miracle, I do like to have all my font a lot of the times already pre-done because it's easy. So I'm simply just going to crop down the size of the baby part and just leave the baby's first name, which is Miracle. So now we have our background that we have used for the front page. So on the back page, we're going to use another special effect. So we're going to go to Edit. This time we're going to do Magic Grab. Okay, so what we want to grab is I want to grab the banner first. So I'm going to magic grab just the banner. And remember, that's going to be where we have the name of the baby over top of the poem. So I'm just gathering my elements. So now we have the banner. And so now we're going to go back in, click our photo. We're going to go back to Magic Grab again. And you see the banner is gone. We're going to Magic Grab the wings this time. So we're going to grab that part. Because this way we still have the same background as the front side, so it makes it cohesive and it goes together. But we just simply want to use the wings by themselves solo. So now we have the wings by themselves solo. We are going to go back to Element, and we're simply going to just choose a shape. I'm going to choose a square. I'm going to change that color to purple to match the aesthetic. And you can do this, you can do just where the words are going to fit at. If you wanted to make it half, the whole side of the page and do it that way, you can do it that way as well. There's a few different options just based on your aesthetic, on how you want to do it. I just wanted to cover the words, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm actually going to make it transparent, just enough so that the words will stand out and not blend into the back of the project. So I'm going to resize my wings to fit into the leftover space. I'm going to move my banner that I took so it all looks like it matches, because that's the exact banner from the photo. So now it matches the actual photo with the colors and everything. It just saves you time versus going to find your own banner. Now, you could have went and found your own banner if you wanted to, but I just wanted to pull from the photo that I had. And that way y'all will know how to use this for other things other than this particular project. So we're going to go and we're going to move this to the front. And then I'm just going to bring it down a little bit because I just like that better. I don't know why. I like it a little bit better. It looks more aesthetically pleasing to me. That is all. So yeah, that's how I'm going to change it. And it does give it a more of a 3D effect. And this is why I like having everything already kind of pre-done. So all you're really doing now is moving it. So I simply just move Miracle over the name, and then I move that to the front. And then we're going to have our baby Miracle with our wings. I'm going to move it to the front. Put it with our wings, our forever and our, forever our angel. I had to look that for a second because I was like, forever angel. Because I seen the hour, so forever in our hearts. Sometimes the wording that gets stuck in your head when you reuse the same words over and over again. So we got the forever in our heart. And so now I'm going to hit layers and see if I can't find. There we go. Bring that to the front. See if I needed to find. When something gets lost, the easiest way is literally to just go to layers and click on it. That way it's easier to find than trying to move everything out of the way to click it, because if it's not on the top layer, then it's not going to click. Anything that is in front of it is going to be clicked or going to be selected. Excuse me. Okay. So I'm going to downsize my screen a little bit so I can see. So we have everything set up very similar. So as you can tell, everything's in place. So what I'm going to do is go back to my Razzle Dazzle, and I'm just going to duplicate some of the Razzle Dazzle and move it throughout the canvas to, again, just create that aesthetic, like everything matches, everything goes together. And you can change the different transparency levels if you want to. You don't have to use the Razzle Dazzle. It's just something that I like to add. And so now we have all of our layout completely done. So now all we're missing is the text for the poem. And what I normally do is I just go over here. I'm going to hit text box. Now, I'm simply going to go open up a new window, and I'm simply going to Google Babies in Heaven poems. And I'm literally just going to look. Most funeral poems or things of that nature, there's a website already for it. There's plenty of websites that share scriptures and poems and songs and special messages already out there. So I have a couple select few that I like to go to for certain things, and then certain things I will just look for something new so that it's not the exact same thing that I've already used. And so I'm literally just going to copy and paste this. I'm going to go back to my Canva tab, and I'm going to literally Command V. I do have an iPad, so Command V will work with your Macs. So I'm going to simply just resize it to fit into my text box. And sometimes you'll have to play around with this to fit it the way that, until it looks good and it doesn't look crammed, or make sure it doesn't look too small. So there. And that is in the text box. So now all I have to do is I'm simply going to go to the top. I'm going to change colors. I changed the color to white just because it stands out more. And I always like to do just a little effect on the majority of my text just to give it some more depth. So we're going to hit our text, and then we're going to hit effects. And I'm going to do the shadow. I'm going to do the shadow with just a little gold background. You can do it that way, or if you like I guess you could say the glowy effect. And with the glowy effect, you can always change the intensity. And when you change the intensity, it changes how it looks. So you could do it that way and change the intensity on the text. If you want to do the outline, you can do the outline as well. Looks good too. So however, whichever style you like or you're comfortable with, go with that one. So that was it. Hope you guys liked it and I hope that it helped. But that was a very simple way to make just a simple postcard. More like, I guess, an announcement. More people do tend to have maybe a little gathering or a little service. If something happens unexpectedly to an infant or a baby that was just born. So this is something small that they can pass out. It doesn't have to be so grand and there's not a lot of pictures and things like that. So this is a cute, simple little memorial. And y'all can reuse this design for a welcome sign. You can use it for a t-shirt. You can use it for a little keychain. When you're making these designs for your obituaries, that same design can be transformed into other things with minimum work. And that way, that's how you're going to create your packages. So I hope this helped, and I thank you guys for tuning in to Canva with Christina, and I'll see you guys next time.